don't think I've ever seen a publisher or studio fall so hard. I mean, we understand who Ubisoft is, we understand what they can do, and we understand what they're capable of. They have created some of the best games we've seen for generations, be it Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, all these games that we felt, hey, these are established franchises that are going to be here for many years. Yet it seems for the last several years, Ubisoft doesn't know what it wants to be. It seems like they don't understand what gamers truly want. They don't have any creative bone in their body, and they seem like they're just falling out of grace wherever you turn. And looking at everything that's been happening with Star Wars Outlaws, Avatar, which is a game I'm currently playing and enjoying a little bit, not to mention Assassin's Creed Shadows, all of these games that have come out for Ubisoft have all missed the mark when it comes to sales and truly gamers' hype. It doesn't seem like they know what they're doing, and honestly, this new creative restructuring that they're talking about seems like it's a step in a direction that a lot of gamers might not like at the end of the day. How did Ubisoft fall so far? We're going to get into all the details right now. All right, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. It helps out the channel more than you know. So I kind of just want to jump into this because there's a lot to cover, from 6 game cancellations, games getting delayed for years, not to mention a big mass layoff happening for the next several years that's going to be cutting costs for Ubisoft with their, I think, about 17,000 employees, something crazy like that. So let's get into what Gaming.biz is talking about here in this article. Today, Ubisoft confirmed the details of the creative house's structure. It announced last year, but paired it with 6 game cancellations, 7 game delays, and confirmation that Ubisoft Stockholm will be shuttered. Further cuts are coming, with CEO Guillemot warning of future studio closures amid a plan to cut $200 million in costs over 2 years. SFVP of Studio Operations Maria Sofia de Walbert told GamesIndustry.biz that the organizational changes to date had resulted in improved game quality in 2025, but in a market that has become persistently more competitive, particularly across AAA titles and shooters, it's necessary to go much further. When content quality reaches the highest standard, this market offers the potential for exceptional financial performance. No shit. When there's competition, of course people are going to expect you to meet that competition where it is or exceed it. That is what competition does. It brings out the best in everybody. That's what I'm not understanding. Basically, they're talking about they needed to restructure this because the industry got more competitive in the AAA market. Of course it did. Do you think people are going to stand idly by and just let you create games and just keep making them cookie cutter every time? No, that's not the way the industry works. So I'm glad that you're seeing that there is competition, that you have to fight for gamers' dollars, because I'm going to say this right now. Gamers aren't stupid. They don't look at something and go, sure, I'll just buy this anytime. There are some parts of that with Call of Duty that we did, but we saw just last year in the last Call of Duty that gamers are starting to catch on to the people that are not putting real effort into the creativity of their games. And when you look at all the scandals, everything that's happening within Ubisoft, how Tencent's now involved, there just seems to be a lot going on that they're going to have to settle this one way or another. And I'm looking forward to this new creative house, which if you look right here, I'm going to give you kind of a picture of what it looks like. This is what they released. So they have open world adventures and games as a service native experiences. Vantage Studios is one, scaling and extending Ubisoft's largest and established franchises to turn them into annual billionaire brands. Brands including Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. First of all, if you're talking about making them annual where one of them comes out every year, so let's say, for instance, Assassin's Creed comes out this year in 2026, next year Far Cry comes out, and then the next year Rainbow Six comes out, I'm okay with that. That gives each franchise a little bit of leeway to be a little bit more creative when they bring them out. If you're talking about bringing out Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and the Rainbow Six every single year annually, that's going to bite you. I don't think gamers want that. Nobody wants that. You need to understand that long distance makes the fawn grow harder. So if the farther away Assassin's Creed is and we haven't gotten one in a while and you have a good idea for it, let the creatives create what they need to do on the back end for a few years to give us a new experience within Assassin's Creed or within Far Cry. I don't think that's that big of an ask because you have other franchises you can lean on. which takes me to the Creative House number 2, offering competitive and cooperative shooter experience. Brands including Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, The Division. I actually think a lot of those franchises are pretty good. I really enjoyed Wildlands. I enjoy a lot of the Ghost Recon games that come out. I play them with my friends. I think they're great. They remind me of SOCOM, but on a different level because they're just a lot of fun. Now, I will say The Division is something I truly loved. I loved both of those games. I put countless hours in them. And right now with Bungie not really focusing on Destiny or Destiny 3 or 2, whatever you want to call it, The Division has a chance to kind of corner the market of looter shooters. They really do. They have that ability to do that, but you need to make it good. You can't bring out The Division and expect people to keep playing it if there isn't content. One of the things that Destiny had was, sure, there was some content when it launched, but it was the end game that they really focused on. And that's what you need to do in The Division. You need to make sure that the raid is there. Don't have it delayed 2 to 3 months after Division 2 came out. You need to have everything there that keeps people wanting to play it. And there's several content that keeps us coming back. That's a live service game that's going to succeed. So I'm glad they have something that's creative in the house, so to speak, that's working on that. But now let's move on to 3. Creative House 3, operating a roster of select sharp live experiences. Brands including Brawlhalla, For Honor, Raiders Republic, Skull and Bones, The Crew. I don't know how Skull and Bones is on there, to be quite honest. I don't even know why they put that in there. I don't know anybody that's playing that game. I don't know any hype around it. I'm not sure. Go in the comment section, let me know if people are playing that, but I have no idea who's playing that. As for these other games, For Honor, I know is still getting content, so good on them. They made a really cool game that people enjoy. As for Brawlhalla and all the other ones, I'm sure there's an audience for that, and it's good that you're having a creative house just focus on those things. Focus on that form of media and that game type because, you need to have some structure involved in this. Now we're going to go to Creative House 4. Dedicated to immersive fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes. Brands including Anno, Beyond Good and Evil, Might and Magic, Prince of Persia, Rayman. I'm not sure where this lands. Beyond Good and Evil was announced, I feel like it was like 10 years ago. And I'm talking about the second one, the sequel, and we haven't seen anything of it. They've kind of just put it in the back burner. People are working on it, I guess, but it'd be good that they allowed it to be part of the creative house and the advertisement of this whole restructuring, because maybe it's still out there being worked on and we just don't know anything about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. Might and Magic, cool. Prince of Persia is one of the games that got canceled. So I don't even know why that's even on there. Maybe they didn't like the way it looked and they want to rebrand it and bring it out into something new, which I'm all for, but putting that big franchise in that creative house seems like we're not going to see the last of Prince of Persia. And on it, the last Prince of Persia, the Crown one, that side scroller, very well reviewed. People really enjoyed that one. And so, the gameplay was tight, so we'll see where that goes. Now on to the next one, Creative House 5, reclaiming a strong position in casual and family-friendly games. Brands include Hasbro's portfolio, Hungry Shark, Invincible Guardian of the Globe, Just Dance, Ketchup portfolio, Colibri portfolio, and Uno. I don't know about these games. I've played Uno, and that's about it. Be honest with you. I played Uno for fun, basically having a few drinks with the buds and hanging out, and we're playing at night on Xbox Live or on PC or wherever we are, and we have a good time with it. It's kind of one of those party games that you play when the end of the night, you're not really playing anything competitive, so we'll see where that goes. I don't have really much to say about that house. Cool, glad you're doing that, and I'm sure there's a market for it, but it doesn't really interest me. And with all these new creative houses, they actually brought out a 3-year roadmap, which the article brings out here. As part of the restructuring, the company set out a new 3-year roadmap and decided to discontinue several projects currently in development and to delay the release of certain games. While we're told GamesIndustry.biz, in order to ensure they meet the enhanced quality standards that we are targeting and to maximize long-term value, the company did not say which games this referred to, only that one title previously planned to release this quarter would move to the next financial year. It said a total of 7 games would receive additional development time to ensure enhanced quality benchmarks are fully met and maximize the long-term value creation. Ubisoft CEO Guillemot said in a press release that the company would selectively close several studios and continue restructuring throughout the group. While these decisions are difficult, they are necessary for us to build a more focused, efficient, and sustainable organization over the long term. I have to say that them delaying games, fine by me. it has been way too many games coming out within Ubisoft's portfolio that have come out just atrocious. Star Wars Outlaws is the first on my mind because people really didn't like that game. They brought out a whole patch and a bunch of fixes in that game to fix the stealth, fix all the AI, fix basically the NPCs, the way they interact. It was not a finished game. It just wasn't. And they brought it out thinking people are just going to buy it because it had the Star Wars name. You had this massive franchise that is known globally, and you still didn't meet expectations in sales because you didn't market it well and you didn't release it in a solid state that people could actually enjoy playing. So that's number one. I'm actually okay with those delays because I want these games to come out very well. I feel like right now the industry has almost trained gamers to not buy games day and date. Never pre-order. That is my rule. Just don't pre-order anything. Wait for the reviews, wait for people to talk about it, look at gameplay online, streamers are going to be playing it. You can look at how games look online and then you're fine because you can understand like, oh, this is a well-polished game that I want to play. Right now, it's not the case. I wait for games sometimes. Even if I do get a review code, luckily, I still play it. I'm like, man, this is rough. It needs a lot of work. Stop bringing out games that you could patch day one or that you're going to patch in 6 months because you're giving the people that wait for sales and get the game 60% off a better experience, the full experience of the game. Ubisoft is notorious for this. We knew a lot of games had problems before, but man, they've kind of taken it to another level. And this is coming from somebody that loves Ubisoft games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of my favorite games of all time. I know a lot of people don't think that, but I think it's a beautiful game. I'm Greek, so I really enjoyed the setting. I thought it was gorgeous. The story was awesome. The gameplay was awesome. I feel like I haven't gotten a Ubisoft game like that in so long. Something that actually grabbed me and made me feel like I'm part of the world, and it's a great game. They just haven't done that lately. And so these restructures of pushing games back and canceling games, hey, you got to be cutthroat if things aren't coming in. If money isn't coming in, you got to be like, what are we doing to make us better? Look internally, don't look externally. Don't blame the fans, don't blame the gamers that aren't buying your game. Blame yourselves because you're not putting a product out that people actually want to consume. And they talk about that too. They talk about all of the stuff that they've done the last several years to make 2025 a bit better. Shadows launched a little bit better apparently. And when they talked about all these games that are coming out, they wanted to make 2025 a little bit better, which I think they did. I think Shadows came out pretty decently. I don't think people had a lot of flack toward it with its performance and all of that. And because of that, they talk about the new decentralized structure here in the article. D. Walbert said that the new decentralized structure would have more clearly defined accountability principles, with decision-making being faster and closer to the full game creation process. All creative houses will share the same objectives and same guiding principles, she said. Each creative house will have end-to-end responsibility for their brand portfolios, both creatively and financially, with strict resource allocation rules combining production and publishing, including brand development and go-to-market strategies. Each house will have some dedicated studios, they will have their own distinct creative genre, they will have dedicated expert leadership accountable for its results and able to attract top talent if we need some, with incentives aligned with long-term value creation. I don't know if anybody's been part of huge organizations within the tech world, but let me tell you, that right there, that's product. That's how one of the biggest roadblocks that everybody runs into, and this goes into Microsoft, this goes into PlayStation, this goes into all the big EA, all the big organizations, the decision making is the hardest thing. Nobody wants to be accountable for it. There'll be somebody working on something and be like, I don't know if I can make that decision, let me escalate it. They escalate it to their manager. I don't know if I can be accountable for that. Let me escalate it. That is one of the biggest roadblocks in the tech industry right now, is decision making, because nobody wants to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing and then get blamed and get the finger pointed at them. That's what I think is one of the biggest issues here, is that they don't have a creative director that is willing to make the decisions that are harsh and helps the game function in a normal way. Straight up. The development, the change management, all of that, all of those things that you have in place, these structures only work if you have people willing to make the decisions at the top. And I'm not just talking about the top director. I'm talking about one vision for one game from that director. He has his people under him or her people under them that understands what they want, and they create that vision internally. And they know the decisions that they make are right for the game. One of the best examples I can give is God of War with Cory Barlog. He basically understood what he wanted the game to be, had trusted people under him that can kind of facilitate his vision. And then when things got a little hairy where it was like, hey, we're not sure where to go with this, he made that final decision, or the people that he trusted made that final decision. That is so rare to have in the games industry. It is very rare. And it's only built, quite honestly, when you have a set relationship with those people, where you've worked with them before and you know what they like, so to speak. This is why From Software, who made Elden Ring, made all these Dark Souls, have the same internal people that have been working there for years, because they know how they work together. They function very well. They have a great creative director that can kind of facilitate everybody and make them understand, hey, this is what we would like. This is what I would like to see in the game. And they facilitate that. They know what the decision maker wants before he knows. That is how you kind of function in a great way. Do I think this is going to help Ubisoft in the long term? Yes. In the short term, I think there's going to be growing pains. I think people need to realize that this massive change management and structure is going to take time, because you're going to lose teams. They've already shut down studios. They've already canceled games. And for the next several months, you're going to see a bunch of warrants go out, which you have to put warrants out in the United States to basically lay people off. We're going to see a bunch of those where they're going to lay off hundreds of people, if not thousands, within Ubisoft, because they're trying to make it more functional and smaller to make more impactful games. That's what's going to happen. Do I think it's the right decision? I don't know. I don't make the big bucks to make those decisions, and I haven't ran an organization that big, but that's how you're going to function in a way that is in the competitive space of AAA games. Because let's be real, it's not just the AAA game space that's competitive, it's the AA space games. Those games are taking AAA out to lunch, man. They're taking them out to the woodshed and beating their ass. Expedition 33 is dominating. Arc Raiders has been dominating. All these smaller games, even things like Mega Bonk, all these games, Vampire Survivors, you know these names because they're massive games that sell really well and people get to try them for cheaper, yet they make so much money because they have a smaller team working on them, and the budget and scope is done properly through their directors and product management. It doesn't get out of scope. There's no scope creep. Nothing happens out of the ordinary because they can talk to each other. That's where Ubisoft's trying to get with these massive franchises. Can they pull that off? If they have the right leadership, they can. And we don't know if they do yet. So far, the leadership there has not proven that. So we need to see them kind of facilitate that and show us that they're in the process of doing that. And it's talking about that right now in this article. Ubisoft is in the process of recruiting general managers to lead each creative house and is considering both internal and external candidates, with hires to be announced before April. The company was sued this week by Mark Alexis Cote, the former head of the Assassin's Creed franchise, who alleges he was unlawfully dismissed after the company transferred the franchise to a new leader at Vantage Studios. Wow. They're dealing with a lot, man. There's a lot of rumbling going on at Ubisoft. They're being sued. They're trying to hire new general managers to handle this. This is a lot larger than people think. And this is going to shake up the entire Ubisoft foundation. Because if you don't even have the leaders or the general managers of all of those houses that we just talked about, all 5 of those, man, you got some work to do. They're not going to be able to bring out stuff really quickly. I think a lot of this stuff's going to get delayed way longer. Maybe the games that are closer to release, like the ones they delayed this year, to the next fiscal year, they might come out because they're a little bit closer and they'll polish them up, stop whatever features that you wanted, push those out, because we have new leadership coming in. We want to focus on the games that are going to make us money in 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years down the line. That's what they're focused on. And they have to, because the financial impact, it's huge, man. Have you seen Ubisoft stock? It went from it's just like a crater. It just goes down, man. It's insane. There it is. You can see it here. It's just down. And it talks about that here. Chief Financial Officer Frederick told GameIndustry.biz that the restructuring delays and other amendments would have a non-cash impact in deprecation of our capitalized R&D for around $650 million, impacting fiscal year 2026, on top of a gross margin reduction of $330 million that derives directly from a net booking reduction of $350 million. That adds up to around $1 billion operating non-IFRS operating loss compared with the guidance that was previously around zero. He characterized the changes as a deliberate choice for us to refocus our resources on the projects with the strongest potential, with the objective to increase quality meaningfully in the more selective market. We are reducing the number of products so that we have the best core teams for each and every project in each and every genre. Yeah. You had too much stuff. There's not enough products. There's not enough directors. There's not enough people to give the products its just due when you don't have the right people in place. And that's what's going on at Ubisoft. They're what do people call them? Cookie cutter. They're like an assembly line. They're just putting out games. There's no creativity. Nobody's making decisions. The decisions were made 10 years ago and they're like, that's what worked. That's what gamers want. Let's go. You're not talking to gamers today. You're not talking to what gamers want today, right now. Products change. It's ever living. That's what it is. Full disclosure, I'm a product manager. I was a project manager. In the tech field, I know what it is. I know what you need to do. You don't just build things to build in product. You build things dependent on what the users need or want. That is a product management. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take your product, bring some user stories in, understand what they want, and see if you can build around it. You don't go into basically a cave by yourself or into a meeting room and say, this is what gamers want. We're going to build it. And I think this is what they want. Once you say, I assume in a product meeting, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're not supposed to do it by assuming. You're supposed to do it by data. You're supposed to do it by research and talking to the gamers and seeing what they want specifically. Assassin's Creed Shadows, while everybody wanted to go to Japan, I don't think they wanted to go to Japan that way, obviously. Star Wars Outlaws, I don't think people wanted that either. Going stealth completely, nothing else is going on. Beautiful open world, but I don't know. First-person shooter Avatar, why wouldn't you want to see how cool your character looks? And they put in a patch for third-person right after, which is the #1 requested thing in the game. That's how you know they didn't scope the project properly. That's how you know they didn't talk to any gamers whatsoever. Ubisoft, you've fallen off hard. And I'm a little annoyed by it because I love Ubisoft. I do. I love their games. I love Assassin's Creed. I think I've played almost every single one of them. So seeing them fall so hard, flat on their face, it's a sad sight. It's a lot like Xbox for me because I love Xbox too. I really like Xbox. But man, it's really hard to like them for the last several years because that's what they've done. They just kind of push gamers away. And yeah, I'm glad I'm on PC. I enjoy my PC. I grew up on PC, quite honestly. I just play everything. I like games, man. No matter where. I'll play it on the PC. I'll play it on the PlayStation. I'll play it on the Xbox. I don't care. But when the developers and the people publishing these games don't care, they don't care about the gamer, they don't care about us, the gamers that actually fund you, you're here because of us. That's a problem. And you're going to need to fix that, and that's what they're going to do here, I hope. I hope that this restructure isn't just be like, we're restructuring and we're doing things just to show that you're doing things. Nah, I need to see it. I need to feel it. That's the true test of gaming. No matter what it is, we can play it. We can feel how your game is. That's what we're going to do as gamers. You can't hide from that. Put it up. Show us what it is. We'll play it. We'll see if we like it. And if we don't, we'll let you know. That's what gamers do, man. So I don't know what everybody else thinks. This restructure, there's so much other stuff going on in here. They talk about the final phase, returning to office, all of these little things that they want to do within the gaming space and within their back-end development. Great, go do it. But I think everybody's going to be a little skeptical. I think everybody's going to be a little skeptical about your next game. They're going to be ready for it. They're going to try it, and they're going to look at it. But next time you come up with an event and you show a game, you better show that quality because that's what you talked about. You talked about all the quality that you're going to bring, that you want to make them so much more quality, and you delayed them. We'll be there to see it. Gamers will be ready. They'll look at it. They'll give you honest opinions on it. Now, hopefully you listen, and hopefully you took some notes, and hopefully you took some gamers into your meetings and understood what they wanted, and you use actual feedback from real gamers that play your games. That's the only thing we can say. And honestly, that's all I have for this. I'd like to know what you guys think. I really hope that Ubisoft turns it around because I love their games. And honestly, I think we need Ubisoft. So let me know down below what you think about Ubisoft, what happened, this huge change. Do you think it's good? Do you understand what the change means? If you don't, put a question in there. I'll try to answer it. I really enjoy diving into this stuff because after working in the tech field for so long, I have a computer science major. I love when organizations do things like this because of their mistakes they did previously because you learn from it. You can take that with you wherever you go. You can learn from people's mistakes. And that's what Ubisoft hopefully does is they learn from their own mistakes. So let me know down below what you think. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. It helps out the channel a lot, guys. You have no idea. And of course, like always, let me know what you're playing. I've been playing a lot of the, funny enough, Avatar, the Ubisoft game. I've been playing it because of that, all the patches that went into it in the third person view. It looks beautiful. Should have had that at launch, man. That's what I've been playing a lot of. So let me know what you're playing down below. And on what system you're playing, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. Tell me what games you're playing, because I like knowing what people are playing. It gives me ideas for my next game. And that's all for now. And like always, thanks for watching. And until next time, enjoy your gaming. Later.